Hey guys, Jimmy Davis here, and I'm finally back with another Favorite YTPs of the Year list. You might remember from my video from last year that I thought I was getting it out pretty late since I didn't get it uploaded until April, so by that standard, I'm very late this year. But I think going forward, I'm just gonna get these videos out whenever I get them out rather than trying to rush them out as soon as possible. As long as I get them done before the end of the year, that's good enough for me. So 2020 may have been the most landfill fiery of all the dumpster fire years in recent history, but it was undeniably a great fucking year for YTPs. That's not to say there wasn't some bad, of course. We saw Care Epton announce his retirement, Paizopi straight up deleted his channel without any warning or giving any reason, there was that whole situation with Trudermark, and probably a few other things that I'm not remembering at the moment. But aside from all that stuff, we saw some great YTP related moments from 2020. Gabe-chan returned with a new YTP, Deeper Cut made a brief comeback to Twitter. Even though he hasn't posted anything recently, you should still go follow him at Deeper Cuts. Michael Rosen gave us HD versions of some of his classic videos. Zelda CDI, and Morshu specifically, had a bit of a resurgence in mainstream meme culture, thanks in part to the reanimated collab and the HD remasters of the games. We got more Phil Swift commercials, Wario's Greatest Achievement, Never Gonna Give You Up made a bit of a comeback, we had some great collabs. It was just overall an amazing year for YouTube poop. More so than any year, I had an incredibly easy time finding YTPs to add to this list. Speaking of which, I should probably get to that. Just like every other year, I'll be keeping it to a limit of one poop per pooper, meaning that you'll have as many as 50 new channels to check out after this video's done. If you want to skip around to a specific number on the list, I'll be providing timestamps in the description below. If you want to skip over my commentary entirely and just watch the YTPs, I'll have a playlist linked in the description, alongside a playlist of my favorite YTPMVs of 2020, which isn't very extensive and doesn't follow the one video per person limitation, but it's just something that I'm trying out this year. It's also worth mentioning that I'm not going to be including any entries from Peterman 2 on this list. I just think it's much easier for me to recommend you guys go watch that full collab, rather than just filling up this entire list with a bunch of entries from that collab. Also, I want to be as clear as humanly possible when I say that this is not an extensive list of best YTPs of 2020. This is just simply a very subjective list of my personal favorite YTPs of 2020, and you shouldn't expect it to conform to your very subjective opinions. There's a very good chance that some of your favorites from 2020 didn't make the list, and that's mostly just because I can't reasonably watch every single YTP that gets uploaded. And even if I did, I might just have different tastes in poop than you do. I clarify this every year, and even then I still get at least one or two comments from people asking, why didn't you include this poop on the list, or this pooper on the list? Simply put, I either didn't see it, or I didn't enjoy it to the same degree as you did. This is why I always encourage people to make their own lists like this one. It may be too late for you to get started on a 2020 list, but there's just enough time for you to get started on a 2021 list. I would love to thoroughly kill the pervasive misconception that YTP is dead or dying, and I think having more and more people sharing their favorite recent YTPs would help out with that goal. Anyway, with all that preamble out of the way, let's finally get into the list of my favorite YTPs of 2020. But first, some honorable mentions. These are all videos that didn't quite qualify to be on the list in the first place, but I'd still like to recommend them anyway. You'll see what I mean. I don't want this to take up too much time, so I'll just run through them all back to back in order of shortest to longest. You can find a playlist of all these linked in the description as well. First, we have Rick Astley Says the N-Word. It's only 15 seconds long and falls more in line with a standard meme video than a YTP. Still pretty funny though. Second is The White House. This is a weirdly impressive video that adds Biden and Trump into scenes from the White House. It's not called a YTP, but I think if a YTPer would have uploaded it as a YTP, nobody would question it. I'm mostly just recommending it here because it has some ridiculously impressive masking, funny and well-edited dialogue between the two, and also somehow only has 36,000 views. It's also from ABC News of all places.
The lighthouse, it's my home. This is my home. I always say, the greatest graveyard in the world for birds. You will see more dead birds than you will ever imagine. Hey, let's have dinner.
Third, AI YTP, the placenta spoon. This is technically a YTP, just one made using an auto-generated script. I don't really understand how it all works, but it's weirdly entertaining to watch. Probably wouldn't be good enough to make the list if it was entirely human-made, but the AI aspect of it makes it worth checking out.
I was born with a silver spoon in my mouth. It was long and slender, and there was a little lever on it. When I was 1, 2, and 3, I ate it.
Fourth is Revenge of the Mad Madman HD remake. Considering that this is a near-perfect frame-by-frame recreation of a YTP from 2010, it wouldn't really fit in with the main list. Still, this is definitely a great video that I'd highly recommend anyone checking out, whether or not you've seen the original YTP.
Thank you.
Fifth is Justin Bieber's hit pastors Cardi B and Katy Perry have lost their minds. This is another video that I wouldn't have a problem calling a YTP, but it isn't listed as such. Regardless, I'd highly recommend checking it out, since Vic Berger is an absolute master at taking the most awkward moments in a video and amplifying them by 100, and this is a great showcase of those skills.
The first female hip-hop artist, I want to get this right, with your first 3 singles in the top 10 at the same time. Wow, 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 wee wah. Yeah.
Sixth, and lastly, we have YTMP, Till Bill Sings. This is a 5-part series listed as a YTMP, which I can only assume is supposed to stand for YouTube Musical Poop, since all the other YTMPs that I've seen are essentially remixes of an entire TV show episode with a little bit of classic YTP style editing mixed in. This one's definitely more M than P, so I couldn't really justify putting it on the main list. It didn't really seem to fit in with the YTPMV list either, so I guess here it is in with the honorable mentions. You absolutely should check out all 5 parts to this one, and if you enjoy it even slightly, go check out the other YTMPs on this channel. They're some of the most unique YTP related videos that I've ever seen, and definitely deserve more attention.
The point I'm trying to make is you're fat.
There's a lot of fat guys.
But you're fat!
Hey, I heard a funny joke the other day. It was, wait, that was, more of an,
That's pretty good.
Well, we've seen him like this before, and it ended with me spending Christmas pulling his head.
That's pretty good.
Now we're gonna get him, and we're gonna hurt him, and we're gonna start by putting
Okay.
No, Dale, we've seen him like this before, and it ended with me spending Christmas.
Okay.
No.
Number 50. Alex Jones and Burboforce by the Septic Foundry.
Keeps going. Let me guess, you told him you had a cough. He said, yeah, in the...
To kick things off, here's a YTP that's relatively short and simple, but with some great sentence mix jokes and entertaining visuals throughout. So, basically the quintessential YTP experience, which seems like the perfect place to start with the list.
Sex with children is the ultimate love, and we're creating a new family. Is it a comedy of errors? I mean... Oh, that is a sick orgasm. All right, I'm out of
Number 49. Kung Fu Pandemia by Mastercast. For the first non-English YTP on the list, here's an Italian YTP of Kung Fu Panda, although it does at least have English subtitles, which is great for all of us monolingual assholes.
Guardami! No, non guardarmi!
Va bene.
No,
Ripensandoci.
guardami! No, non guardarmi!
No.
I have a feeling that at least a few people are probably going to find this one to be a bit boring given its almost 10-minute runtime and limited variety of poopisms, but I absolutely recommend sitting through the entire thing at least once in order to experience some of the incredible psychedelic visuals from this pooper. As far as I can tell, he has an original character that he films and adds into his YTPs, which sounds like an awful idea on paper, but Mastercast is somehow able to pull it off seamlessly.
Pensi davvero di farmi bere quella?
Number 48. Hilda by Jakob Ikson. For the second non-English YTP on the list this year, here's a Polish YTP of a source that I've never heard of before. But despite not knowing anything about the source, that didn't seem to affect my enjoyment of the video much, if at all. This one also has English subtitles, so you'll be able to watch it without any problems.
Nasz dom! Wszystko rozjebane, nasz cały dom!
Też mam. Wow, całkiem ładnie mi wyszło.
This one's reasonably short at around 3.5 minutes long, and it's decently paced with a good variety of jokes and editing styles throughout. So even if you don't care much for the source or would prefer it to be in a language that you can understand, I think you'll at least be entertained the whole time. Number 47. Robotnik Gets a Few More of Those by the Big L1.
So that
What was that?
my super supreme stepper zopper.
Huh?
My stopper zooper.
Huh?
My no more mouse.
Here's a classic pooper using a classic source to make a classic style poop. Not much I can add to that really, just trust me when I say you should really check it out if you haven't already. And after you've watched and enjoyed the video, make sure you check out the Big L1, because he has plenty more YTPs that are just as good as this one.
If that's how you get your rocks off, go ahead.
Number 46. CDI Random RPG Battle 2 by Gloin1994.
It is written, die.
A sequel to his classic 2012 YTP, this is just about as good as you can get with an RPG battle inspired YTP. It's pretty structurally similar to the original with no major additions, but I do think it manages to improve on just about everything that the original had going.
Fingers.
Oh god, I'm cooming!
My boy.
I kind of feel like this video rides the line between YTP and parody animation just a little too closely, which is why it's so low on the list. But I still personally feel that it falls into the category of poop, if only just barely. Regardless of how you feel about it though, it's definitely worth your time to check it out.
I am going to say the N-word.
No, don't do it! Don't say the N-word!
Nigger. Oops, sorry.
Number 45. Keck or Cringe with Morshu by Anonymorshu.
Link, please show me your name.
I guess I'd better get showing. Check it out. I guess that's worth a kick, huh?
This one's super short and simple, but it has some great sentence mixing and jokes, so I'd say it's worth a watch.
No! That is the cringiest in Korodai.
Of course not.
I'm sure some people might not like the already dated meme nature of this video, but I've honestly always loved that aspect in certain YTPs since it makes it that much more fun to look back on years later. Plus, I feel like it's done at least partially tongue-in-cheek here, so I think it deserves a pass either way.
Boy. Rope, you supposed to cringe. You are going to lose subscriber.
Number 44. Wario's Greatest Achievement by Lieutenant Gua.
Guys, you remember Wario Land? Incredible, incredible, incredible.
Let me just get this detail out of the way. This is technically a compilation of 6 previous YTPs from Lieutenant Gua. Although I figured that because the videos featured here were all originally from 2020, all based around the same source, and all coming from the same pooper who made the compilation, I can justify including this rather than just trying to pick one out of the 6 individual videos. Because while I definitely like some of the individual poops better than others, I do enjoy at least some aspects of each one. So anyway, onto the video itself. The individual poops in here range from the entire source video, but only when Wario says guys, to a surreal interaction between Wario and the G-Man.
No one is more deserving of a rest.
Yeah,
And all the effort in the world would have gone to waste.
It's one of my greatest achievements.
And just about everything in between.
General Grievous is here. Look, guys, look, Robert. You'll be a fine addition to my collection.
Some parts do admittedly kind of drag on and don't really work for me, but there's definitely a lot more good than bad in here. I'm pretty sure everyone's going to be able to find at least something in here that they enjoy. Number 43, Mario from Donkey Kong's Serial Killing Supercade by TCG's Dumping Grounds.
And boy, it fucking sucks.
Fucking sucks! Kids, you wanna kill Donkey Kong?
Did you know? Longtime Did You Know Gaming video editor, the Cartoon Gamer 8000, has a YouTube poop channel. The channel currently only has 96 subscribers at the time of making this video, but I think he's going to get at least a few more once this video becomes more well known. I think it's definitely going to be a popular one with fans of classic YTPs, since I really get a classic YTP vibe from it.
You can roll out the back.
Some parts feel kind of like Noise Puppet, while others seem to draw inspiration more from Gabachan. So, needless to say, this is a great YTP, and you owe it to yourself to check it out.
With Mario from Donkey Kong, his brother from Donkey Kong, and lots of crazy creatures from Donkey Kong. Mario, where are you? Mario Brothers, new from Atario Brothers.
Number 42, Friesen 2 by Bobber the Wise.
Far away, as no.
Are you sure about this?
Yes, far away.
Are you sure? Are you sure?
No. Far away.
Who cares? My mother.
What?
Far.
Shut
up. And someone saved me. I wish I knew who it was.
She did!
There aren't many YTPers out there who I think have a distinctly unique editing style, but Bobber the Wise is definitely one of them, and this video is a great showcase of his style.
Something's wrong.
With you?
Yes!
What?
You'll always have me. Wake up! Wake up! Not like this.
His videos are so goddamn fast-paced and unpredictable that it's easy to find yourself still processing a joke 2 or 3 jokes later. Some people may view that as a negative, but his jokes and edits are so meticulously planned and executed that I personally can only see that as a positive.
Guess what? I'm the bad guy. Elsa's dead. Sweet.
Number 41, Link Gets Quarantined by Jeff Lindblom.
Ganon and his minions have released the coronavirus.
Great! I'll grab my soulmate.
At only 30 seconds long, this is the shortest YTP on the list this year, but the sentence mixing here is among the best I've ever heard, so it definitely deserves a spot on the list.
It is written, do not touch your face.
What?
This is the first of 4 coronavirus-related CDI YTPs from Jeff Lindblom, and I kinda considered including all 4 of them here since they're clearly intended to take place within the same universe, but I decided against that since they feel more like standalone sequels rather than direct continuations from the previous video. But I would recommend checking them all out if you enjoy this one. And if you're a fan of CDI YTP, I'm pretty sure you will enjoy this one.
I guess I'd better get quarantined.
Number 40. Spinge-Bill and the Attack of the Fish Karens by Guitar Rocker 100.
Stop fucking yourself.
I was just testing it.
I will fuck you.
This one, to me anyway, really feels like an early 2010s Spinge-Bill poop, which might be a good thing or bad thing depending on how you feel about that era of YTP. For me personally, I see that as a good thing.
Everything will be fine. There won't be any cocksuckers today anyway. You'll probably just stand there bored.
Some of you may recognize the name Guitar Rocker 100 since he was a decently successful SpongeBob YTPer in the early 2010s, but you might not know that he got locked out of his old account a couple of years ago and came back with this new channel last year, which is why he only has 479 subscribers at the moment. So definitely be sure to give him a sub if you like what you see, or if you have liked what you've seen from him in the past but weren't aware of his new channel.
What the? You gotta help me, SpongeBob!
You've got to die.
I can think of 10 good reasons to never die, boy.
Number 39, The Loin King, by Numberer 1. By Numberer 1 standards, this one's a bit more on the simplistic side in terms of visual editing, but the comedy here isn't of any lesser quality. Honestly, I think it might even be one of his funniest YTPs, despite how short and simple it is.
If you ever come, my son, again.
You know what?
What? It's free real estate.
Simba, I'm very disappointed in you.
But you know what?
What? It's free real estate.
Come here, you.
Number 38, John Lejewa Has Already Touched Your Knob, by Patui.
Introducing Snans! Ha ha ha! With hands, you'll be able to mug a paraplegic, play keyboard, write a story about keyboards, point at keyboard, gay masturbation. I want to put my penis in your penis, straight masturbation. I want to put my penis in my mom, racist masturbation. I don't want to put my penis in a black coworker, slaps.
I feel like I've already said this every year since I've made one of these lists, but it bears repeating from now until the end of time. Patui is the undisputed master of sentence mixing jokes, and those skills are on full display here. I absolutely love this video, even though I've never seen or heard of this source before.
Hands will help you text message, throw basketball, throw Tiger Woods, throw up, throw down.
I also get a really strong To Things vibe from some of the edits in here, which is always a plus in my opinion.
Then we'll send you the sneeze button. Also available, the sneeze button. Also available, the appreciate sneeze button. I love how they
make honey, honey, make honey, honey.
Number 37, The Michael Rosen London Food Fight, by 256 Pi Alternate, featuring Alex.
Oh no, this is horrible.
Michael. I'm okay. Not even the worst. All I've ever survived. What are we gonna do?
Run.
Here's an 11-minute story-based Michael Rosen YTP from one of the most prominent active Michael Rosen poopers out there. It's pretty action-oriented, but the two of them still manage to keep in a decent amount of jokes as well.
Gee, thanks, Obama.
You're welcome.
Apparently, this is just one of 52 YTPs, all within an ongoing series from 256 Pi Alternate, with the last third of the video clearly building off of and onto the story. I haven't personally had the time to watch all of those yet, but I can say that even without context of the overarching story, I was still able to enjoy this entire YTP, even if the ending was a bit confusing to me.
Death grips. Damn it.
Well, there goes the holiday video.
Number 36, Robotnik in Trouble, by NP Carlson.
I want you two to test the testicle cruncher. Whoa! Now all we have to do is do. I just shit. He'll be glad to shit.
Not much to say about this one, honestly. Basically, it's just a classic Robotnik-style YTP with that distinctive NP Carlson flair to it. And that's all you really need, both in terms of the YTP itself and the description.
You spelled Sonic with a C.
See? That's the way. Aha, aha. I like it.
I kinda liked it.
Activate the dance bot. I'm debunking you to Scramoti third class. Now go and wipe my ass.
Number 35, Diabetes She Wrote, by Onion Fragments.
And he said to me, you have diabetes. And I was like, don't you me diabetes? He said to me, what the f*** is diabetes? I'm talking about diabetes. At this point, I was not comfortable talking with this doctor.
If this one doesn't convince you to subscribe to Onion Fragments, I really don't know what will. It's a solid 2.5 minutes of nothing but sentence mix jokes using a classic YTP source, all while still remaining fresh and funny.
And I threw my doctor into a mirror grinder. And he died, but in doing so, he became my ghost. And one night, I had a vision of my doctor's ghost, and the thing he said to me was, "Boo." And I was scared.
If I have one criticism, I can say the sentence mixing is a bit tough to understand, but even then, you still get the basic gist of it, and there's nothing really that you can't understand with rewatching it once or twice.
In closing, I would simply like to say to you, but actually, I would like to say, trans rights.
Number 34, Michael's Squeamish Birthday Tale by Dinwar.
Once my brother said, why don't we go to the third world for your birthday treat? We could spend all day there looking at the poor people. It'd be great. Yeah, I said, it'll be great. Mum said, no, do you understand? So we go, okay, Mum, okay. Don't worry about it. And off we go.
I can't think of too many story-based Michael Rosen YTPs that are almost entirely without added visual edits or one-off jokes that still manage to hold my interest. But this is definitely one of those. Not only that, but the bulk of this YTP feels surprisingly original as far as Rosen poops go. So I think you'd be able to enjoy this one even if you don't care for the other Rosen poops on this list.
It was then a terrifying creature's head burst from the inside of my brother's ass. It said, no one's gonna take me out of anyone's inside, because eating you is cool, eating you is tasty. You can't catch me, I'm the speedy stomach parasite, and I'm starving. All I had for breakfast was one kidney and half a liver. Doctor shouted, good Lord, it can talk. It popped up its head again, said, now watch me eat this guy's insides.
Number 33, Godran Hamsey's Last Meal by Trailer Poopers.
Now, 2 fingers. Punch the steak. There should be no steak left anywhere.
Trailer Poopers is back, and better than ever. If you're looking for a joke-heavy, cartoony YTP, watch something else. Because although there's still some comedy in here, by and large this is a horror YTP, and one of the best ones I've ever seen.
My next deliciously different chili recipe is hot this sauce. Delicious. Next, shred some babies. Just run them through with a knife.
It's pretty short and, conceptually speaking, relatively simple, but Trailer Poopers definitely had a very specific sense of unease that he was able to get across perfectly without trying too hard or just evolving into ear rape or jump scares like many other horror-themed YTPs seem to rely on. Definitely worth your time if you've never seen a good horror-themed YTP.
Penetrate me.
Number 32, JonTron Neglects His Squawk Code by Hoffy1138.
It's Christmas time, and that means one thing. Grandma's out getting trampled by a reindeer.
I feel like there aren't many good JonTron YTPs being made anymore, so it's a nice little throwback to see not only a new JonTron YTP, but a new JonTron YTP that uses one of his older and superior videos.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you
Boo.
Philip. Perfect for Philip. Finally, me! This thing comes with an AV8B carrier.
I'll take your entire stock!
Nothing really groundbreaking here, but I don't think Hoffy was necessarily trying to do anything groundbreaking. It's just a fun, simple YTP with a decent variety of poopisms, and sometimes that's all you need.
Surprise though, it's just Batman. Oh, this is the best, the finest. Bag it! I'm drawing the line. LOL.
Number 31. Azumanga Adventures, Episode 1, Attack of the Fakers, by William_.
The time is tomorrow! We must beat Class 2 no matter what!
I'll take attendance now.
Hey, if we win, you should die!
And it was totally cute!
Oh,
This video was apparently made over the course of 5 full years. And although I'm not sure how much of those 5 years was actually spent working on it, you can clearly tell that a whole fucking shitload of work went into it.
Who wants a Krabby Patty?
At that time, they never would have dreamed.
Huh. You've got to be kidding. Link?
Hey!
Go to Gamelon and find my father.
Even with no familiarity with the source at all, I have no problem thoroughly enjoying this video from start to finish.
Sure. The time machine is down the hall to the left.
Let's go.
Oh, cheer up. It could be worse.
Would you please keep your mouth shut?
Well then, here you go. Ready to go?
Yeah, okay, whatever.
Number 30. The Fresh Bear of Red Square by Dmitry Petrov.
I whistled for a when it came near. I yelled to your home, smell you later. Looked at my bag.
Wait a minute, what the hell?
This one's full of the usual cartoony edits that you'd expect from a Fresh Prince YTP, but it really stands out from the rest thanks to the presence of Dmitry's surreal and sometimes eerie editing style.
Fucking girl.
666.
At only a minute 25, I do wish it was just a little bit longer, but for what it is, it's packed full of high-quality jokes and edits that give it some great rewatch value.
Hey, the Fresh Prince.
Oh
my god, it's full of stars.
Number 29, Soup by King Harkinian.
T'écris quoi? T'écris quoi? Une vidéo. T'écris une vidéo? Ah ouais? Mais c'est pas possible. Ah ouais? Une vidéo, ça se fixe. Bon.
Here is yet another non-English YTP. All primary sources used in this video are originally in French and entirely unfamiliar to me, but even then I thoroughly enjoyed this one. Probably due to the fast-paced and chaotic nature of the editing, as is the norm for King Harkinian.
Okay.
Number 28, Fresh Prince of Sus by Ollie Bacon.
Mr. Jameson.
Jameson, how are you?
Shut up.
How are you, Mr. Whitworth?
Never trust Carlton.
Ain't that the truth? Yo, man, back in freaking Philly, I knew this guy named Leo Brantley.
Well, this is all very interesting. Wait a second. Wait a second. Wait a second.
Okay, I get that the title of this video is not at all enticing, and I kinda think that may be why it currently only has a little over 9,000 views, but trust me when I say that the video itself is top-tier Fresh Prince material.
I'd like to see Carlton.
My name is Carlton.
No,
Carlton.
No.
My name is Carlton.
Carlton?
No, sir, my name is Ray Charles. Hey, what's up, Jay? My name is
Jameson. How would you like to be my girly wife?
I'm only 17.
Did you say 18?
Nah.
Yes, you did. You have a bright future, young girly man.
This is nuns. Oh, so what you're saying is that?
3 times.
This is Carlton.
I don't think so.
I do personally feel the video gets a bit repetitive near the end, relying just a little too much on stutter loops for my taste. This by no means ruins the YTP, but I do think a little of the fat could have been trimmed out to help make it just that slightest bit better. But even then, this is still a great, underrated YTP that's definitely worth your time.
We'll talk tomorrow. Philip, Vivian, Carlton, Philip, Will, Vivian, Will, Philip, Will. Have a nice day. Yay.
Wow. Mr. Jameson.
Well, actually, Philip, I'm not here.
Number 27, The King and Link See the Coridian Migration by the Mr. Master Mario.
Your Majesty, the Coridian migration is today. Do you wish to go see the birds? No! Oh boy, I can't wait to see the dust.
Here's the first YTP on this list to come from the Overlooked YTPer collab. At the time of recording this, the YTP only has about 500 views, while the YTPer only has 118 subscribers. Hopefully this video will be able to boost those numbers up, because even though I wouldn't call this an amazing YTP, it's a simple yet competent YTP that doesn't rely on references to tell its completely original story, which is always a nice change of pace for story-based YTPs.
Wow, it's a Goma. Yeah, pretty bad.
This is in Beagle, you know.
Look, isn't it beautiful?
Yes.
Sure, some of the visuals and sentence mixing are a bit rough around the edges, but given that it's the YTPer's first full CDI YTP, I think that's pretty easy to overlook.
Ganon, I'm going to scrub the floors using your dolls. I'll take the Triforce of Courage to help you up. Floors, scrub. Boy, you dare! Die! Enough!
Number 26, President Evil 2, America Loses the Game, by CS188.
This debate is sponsored by Satan and the non-nerd 666 and 4. Donald Trump decided the topics, and the questions will not matter. The candidates will not answer the questions. I can assure you, none of the questions will have answers.
Another election year for the US means another debate YTP from CS188, and I think this might be his best one so far.
Bye. Bye, Joe Biden.
President Trump did a phenomenal job. You were a disaster. Oh, really? The governors said I did a phenomenal job. Most of them said that. No way, I haven't done a good job. It's a fact. You know what? There's nothing smart about it. President Trump did a phenomenal job. We got the clowns, we got the clowns, we got the mammoths, we made the mask letters. Nobody cares.
Like all CS188 YTPs, there are just way too many quotable moments in here to even begin listing them off, which is something that I think gives a great rewatch value.
I'm not here to wipe his big butt. I'm here to strip.
Gentlemen, I've had more than 7 cases of corona. Now.
Number 25, Wario's Virtual Bathroom Unboxing, by Perdi Ador Animado.
Hey guys, wanna see my dick? Ultimate classic dick.
If you watched the previous Wario YTP on this list, you might think that you've already seen everything that could possibly be done with this source. But you would be wrong.
Mario here. My stomach is rolling from playing with my buttocks. Oh my goodness. Okay guys, to play the Game Boy, you need the Game Boy. Here's the Game Boy. That's the Game Boy. This is the Game Boy.
This YTPer, if you couldn't tell by the name, usually makes Spanish YTPs, or YTPH as they're called. So I was kinda surprised to see that this YTP was made entirely in English. Not only that, but the sentence mixing in here is just as good as, if not better, than most other YTPs made by people who speak English as their only language. Which really makes me wish that I could speak Spanish so that I could enjoy their other YTPs for more than just the visuals.
And look guys, look, Wario's all the way on the PS4. Hey guys, Wario here. Point out the stupid greatest achievement.
Also, please make sure that you stay through to the very last frame of this YTP. I'm not going to show it off here, but I swear that no matter how many times I rewatch this video, I always somehow manage to forget about that last part, which always catches me off guard and always causes me to audibly laugh out loud. Which, I can assure you, is no small feat.
I feel the stuff coming down the Virtual Boy. Oh my goodness. Oh.
Number 24, Morshu Falls in Love, by Pizza Pie Overlord.
Greetings, Mr. Arcather. Do you have any Arpagos feathers?
Nope. Sorry, mice.
That okay. Hey, you, I must be on.
I can't post peppers.
This one's a sort of romantic story-based YTP centered around Morshu and the Wand of Gamelon character Myra. a character that I can't say I've really seen much in other YTPs before. You're not going to find a lot of jokes or wacky edits in here, but I think, if nothing else, it definitely proves that you don't always need that kind of stuff to make for a memorable YTP.
Alright, Link. What do you want from me, rubies?
No, just a copy of that mold, please. Wow, you're such a simp, Morshu.
Shut up, you little, piece of poop.
Number 23, Guanum Nags the King for the Last Time, by Morimoto YTP.
What the fuck? I have the door, you know. Is used for entering.
No need to be so happy, your majesty. He's that cock.
You've got to be kidding.
Enough, boy.
This is a matter of great concern. Ganon and his minions have seized my porridge.
I kinda hate it when people say that a specific YTP feels like an old school poop just because it features CDI characters. But honestly, I can't think of a better way to describe this one. Visually speaking, it's definitely very slick and modern, but the relatively simplistic story and conflict between the characters really reminds me of an old Swish Films Inc. or Mistar Studios YTP.
You see, my boy, you cannot always try enough every time you have the problem. For Pete's sake, you're older than me.
But your majesty.
Besides, I don't specialize in restaurants. I specialize in dinner.
Number 22. Dennis Prager Abolishes Women, by DeJith.
What is this? A female? I don't like women. If only there was a way to get rid of these deplorable females. Oh, yes, the Bible. In the biblical book of Deuteronomy, it says, if you want a good world, a world without women, a pure gold working toilet might interest you? How convenient. I guess I better get going.
I think this might actually be the first PragerU YTP that uses the source material to create a story-based adventure YTP, similar to most Rosen poops. And I'm honestly kinda surprised by that given how well the PragerU videos work for that purpose.
Why are you shooting my car? Oh, right, that makes more sense. Son of a B-word.
This video comes from a channel that's both relatively new and small, only having a little over 600 subscribers at the time of recording. So definitely be sure to check it out and give them a sub if you like what you see. And I'm pretty confident that you will if you already like Rosen-esque adventure YTPs or PragerU YTPs.
With this ground, I will become the king of Western civilization. Finally, I could destroy women.
No, that way of thinking is not only wrong, it's dangerous.
I don't need you, deplorable. I have anime girls.
Number 21. Mega Micro Poops, All-Star Edition, by Fishman Jishman.
There's a new way to inflate tires, dragons, sporting equipment, and more. It's called the Air Talk, and it's fucking gay.
Here's a multi-source YTP that uses mostly sources that I don't think I've ever seen in a YTP. There usually isn't much of a transition between the sources, and there aren't many callbacks to earlier jokes, so it does kinda just feel like a bunch of mini YTPs barely stitched together, but that's the closest thing to a negative that I can think to say about it.
Believe it or not, the game crashes if we eat bombettes. The reason?
Encountering DJs with micro penises.
So clickety-clack, down the track!
I'd have to say that my two favorite sources from this YTP are the Vsauce and Deus Ex segments, which are two sources that come in near the beginning and at the very end, respectively. The other sources are kind of hit or miss for me, but those two scenes alone definitely make it worth the recommendation.
Basically what I'm trying to say is, if you kind of don't like somebody, just call them a nigger.
Wait a minute. What are we doing? Can we really just say the N-word? Of course we can.
But I'm a nice guy.
So I refuse to have a potty mouth. Or am I?
I'm gonna do what's called a pro game.
Number 20. Duding Days and Donuts by Noise Puppet.
2 girls, 1 cup. Well, that all right. Only, who girl? Me, not like crowd. What do?
The undisputed master of fucking up obscure sources is back at it again with an absolute masterpiece of sentence mixing and stutter loops.
When you're having butt sense, all you're having is ass sense. Well, it's the time headset, forget it, getting head. And now, wow, a perfect but. How do you say the end of this world this night? Yes.
I don't really feel like I need to say much about this one to sell you on it. It's everything that you would expect and want out of a noise puppet YTP. Just showing you a few clips should be more than enough to convince any reasonable YTP fan to check it out. So I'll leave you with just one of many quotable moments from the video.
Well, suppose he asked for some. Suppose he...
Ann?
I guess I'm busy.
Oh, yeah? Any chance of giving me the pussy? Well, I have a Woody. This is kind of...
Well.
Number 19. John John and Rat Rat launch a pyramid scheme in Lego CD Itty by Brickertown.
A man has fallen into hell. Start a new rescue helicopter. Build the helicopter. Yeah. Build the helicopter.
I have a feeling that this is going to be one of the YTPs on this list that everyone's either going to love or hate. It's incredibly chaotic, very loud, and extremely fast-paced. So if that sounds like something you'd be into, you're gonna love this one. If it doesn't sound like something you'd be into, you're gonna hate this one.
Rat Rat is gay. When he appears, you must do him.
Despite how balls-to-the-wall insane this video is, with its constant cutting back and forth between the four main sources, Brickertown still manages to keep a good amount of running jokes that build up over the course of the video. So the video just keeps getting better and better as it goes on.
Your Majesty.
A man has fallen into the river in Lego.
There is not a chance I'm interested.
Rat Rat is a video game that you play with a rat. To win the rat, you must collect all 8 pieces of your rat. You must do this before Rat Rat eats all of the rat on the cheese of the TV screen.
The cold sass in a lunch lal.
Your Majesty.
Rat Rat is a board game that you play with a...
Number 18. Sponge Thing. SpongeBob Last Episode. By Wide-Eyed Wise Guy.
Are you ready, kids? I can't hear you.
This is, to date, my favorite straight-up horror-themed YTP that I've ever seen. Even though this is clearly intended as a parody of your standard Lost Episode creepypasta, Wide-Eyed Wise Guy still plays the video totally straight by not including any jokes or intentionally shitty edits. So even though he's made it to be ridiculously over the top at times, it's still an overall spooky fun YTP that I can easily see being a Halloween staple for years to come. Number 17. Superb Mario World, by A Guy That Loves Pooping.
Hey, watch where you're going, you faggot. Who's a faggot? Shitface? You are.
Wow! Luigi's been turned into a baby.
Jesus fucking Christ! Let's kill him!
This one's got plenty of sex tropes and ear rape right off the bat, so it'll likely be another love it or hate it addition to the list. If for no other reason at all, you should give it a watch for the YTPMV segment about a third of the way through. If you like that segment, you'll probably enjoy this channel, since he tends to lean more towards YTPMVs than YTPs.
I gotta stop him before he comes on Luigi.
Number 16. Now that's a lot of Phil Swift brain damage! By Flying Kitty.
Yeah. Flex Paste deeply penetrates every hole in the chicken hole. You people disgust me.
This is probably Flying Kitty's best Phil Swift YTP, and it was impressively uploaded just 3 weeks after the premiere of the original commercial. I don't think I would have ever guessed that it was made in such a short period of time, given the quality of the video.
And when sex is getting into your butt, use Flex Paste to seal up your big butt holes to keep those unwanted dicks out.
Considering that the video already has nearly 3.5 million views, I'm sure you all have probably seen it at least once before. But on the off chance that you haven't actually seen it yet, I'd highly recommend fixing that right now.
And when insects or rodents are getting into your ass, just fucking kill those unwanted pests and he died. What a sissy.
Number 15. King of the Dale by Sylvanator.
This is art, man.
Oops. Have you noticed any large hairy asses in the store lately? That's weird. I bought this CD to make love to. A large monkey?
Yay.
You've added a penis to the pussies.
You ever just throw everything at the wall to see what sticks, but then everything ends up sticking? Because I think that's a good analogy for this YTP. From start to finish, Sylvanator has it packed full of just about every poopism out there, and they're all well done on top of that.
We need some traps for Dale, and also a tranquilizer gun for, Dale.
Hank, he has his host. Yeah.
Now let's go, fellas. Now remember, find Dale, kill Dale, pat the rat on the back.
A lot of the jokes and references are pretty fast-paced and layered, so I think you could probably watch the video multiple times before you even come close to catching them all.
Here's the deal, jackass.
Hank said you were the best.
The best?
Hank said that?
No.
What a jackass.
Hill residents.
I know where you live.
Dale, is that you?
Nope.
Number 14. Michael's Horrific Pizza Parlor by Salvadorio.
Well, do I get the job? Okay, fine. Fuck you.
Salvadorio is a relatively recent YTPer, only really starting around 3 years ago, but he's already attracted a decent amount of views and subscribers, and I think by watching this video, you'll understand why that's the case.
My ass smells like shit.
Now back to the show.
This YTP has a nice blend of great sentence mixing, impressive squash and stretch animations, and probably my favorite fourth wall breaking gag in any YTP. Highly recommend checking this one out if you haven't already.
I've got the best idea in the world.
Number 13. Michael Rosen in Maximum Security by $Slate.
When I watch YTPs all day, my dad calls me the 2-year-old. When I tell fibs, my dad calls the police.
Here's yet another Michael Rosen YTP, as well as the final Michael Rosen YTP on the list. The visuals here might not be quite as impressive as the previous ones on the list, but I think the joke quality in this one puts it just slightly above the rest. This one starts out as if it's going to be a standard sentence-mixed Rosen poop with just a series of vaguely connected jokes, but it quickly turns into a full-blown story poop with Michael recounting the events along the way.
So long story short, I went to prison. Yeah, myself and Matt were Hackney, Jack, Lemonade Boy, and my dad. What the duck are you doing here, Dad?
You know.
Oh yeah, I know the kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
The ending's a bit anticlimactic, but aside from that, this is a great YTP from start to finish. Also, I should point out that this YTP was made as an entry for the Overlooked YTPer collab, and for some reason it remains unlisted. So, $Slate, on the off chance that you're watching this, why? Please, set the video to public. The people of YouTube need to see this work of art. Thank you.
And so we start the dead ring and exciting escape. Right, first of all, and he starts up in the back. Meanwhile, Jack goes down. Oh no, this is horrible! Quick, get out!
Number 12. Mitter Harvey Only Grows Wiser with Age by DCP9K.
She was surprised at the size of Steve Harvey's cock. Lips. Hey man, I didn't point to you yet. You know, that was a bad answer. That is the worst answer he could ever give. Good answer, get that paper.
Every now and then, I come across a YTPer who has an editing style unlike anyone else that I've ever seen before. And this is one of those channels. I guess if I had to give a comparison, I'd say there's somewhat of a cross between CJ Flow and Durham Rockers, but I still think they've managed to find their own very distinctly unique editing style. And in a pretty short amount of time as well. Although he's moving things over to a new channel that he just created. His original channel's been around since 2010, but he didn't upload his first YTP until late 2019. And as of right now, he hasn't made a single bad YTP as far as I'm concerned.
Big old fucking big fat black bitch, big fat suckable, fucking black cock.
Penis off.
Good answer, good answer.
This was actually a very last-minute addition to the list. I was already deep into the month of May writing the script when I came across this channel in my YouTube recommended videos. Normally, if I come across a good YTP from the previous year after I've already arranged the list of my favorites, I'll just wait until the next year to include one of their videos so I don't have to go through the hassle of removing a video from the list and finding a place to add it. But I absolutely had to make an exception for this one, and I think you'll see why.
Well, here we go, fellas. We ask 100 married men. Sex. You so damn stupid.
The channel currently only has a little over 60 subscribers, with the previous channel that they moved over from only having about 170 subscribers. So please don't forget to subscribe to them if you like what you see. And I'm pretty confident that you will like what you see.
Name a place you think Steve Harvey goes to squeeze your man's crotch.
An ass.
An ass. That is the ugliest bitch.
Number 11. Kramer Risks It All by Ooga Beluga.
Jerry, Newman and I are gay. It's epic.
Don't look at me.
Oh, I'm looking right at you, big dick. All right, boys, let's fuck.
This YTP has a little bit of everything, from sentence mix jokes, YTPMV segments, stutter loops, running jokes, and it closes off with a great reference joke combining a scene from Seinfeld with coverage of the real-life Michael Richards controversy. I don't know if I've actually seen any other Seinfeld YTPs at this point, but I think they'd have a hard time topping this one.
Put the board in it or ass, Jerry, where no one will tamper with it. Yes, you're like Swift.
This is currently the first and only YTP from this channel that's longer than 9 seconds. Ooga Beluga has only been around for about a year and a half and only has a little over 200 subscribers at the moment, so please be sure to do your part in checking out and subscribing to their channel to hopefully encourage them to make more YTPs. Because if they're able to make something this great as their first official YTP, I can only imagine what future masterpieces they'll be able to produce.
Now, let me ask you a question. Where's the heat in this cock?
Hey, cop, no! They're towing your car!
Whoa! Hey, my car! I'm taking the board with me. I'm looking right at you, big dick. Let me ask you a question. Where's the heat, huh?
Number 10. Mario Bash 2020 by Pseudogon.
Eat my ass, Luigi! It's even official size! But not official weight! Fuck you, Luigi! You're a fucking piece of shit!
This might just be the best Super Mario World YTP that's ever been made. Or at least the best one that I've personally seen. It's basically 90% sex jokes, but they're all very well planned out and executed.
First, we learn how to plow! Princess Toadstools! Pussy! Hey, planting wheat is simple. It's just putting things in my ass. Hey, you see? Nothing to it.
I can't even begin to imagine how much work must have gone into this. The visual edits alone make it worth watching, but the sentence mixing and reference jokes are just as high quality. The only way that I can possibly imagine someone not enjoying this would be if they're thoroughly opposed to anything and everything sex joke related. But even if that were the case, I'd still recommend checking it out and just sort of skipping to the big fight scene at the end, because even just that scene alone makes it worth watching.
Me sorry, Uktar not been good.
That's no excuse, Uktar. There's only one thing to do.
Number 9. Spider-Man is Not Responsible by Drew Belmore.
And the Lord said, let there be light. And voila, there is light. My ass.
Man, got a job somewhere.
Well, let's look in the paper and see. Computer. I'm too old for computers.
Everybody knows. You look awful.
Yeah.
Oh, hi, sweetie.
Hey, how you doing, buddy? How was the field trip?
I don't feel well. I'm gonna...
It's rare to find a YTP of a full-length movie made by just one person that manages to be well-made and entertaining all throughout. This is one of those rarities.
I thought you were sick.
I get better. Hey! Stop the bus!
Given the vast number of Spider-Man YTPs out there, there are obviously a few jokes here and there that I've already seen before, including a few that were already made in Peter Man 1, but there's more than enough originality to where the video as a whole still feels fresh and new. The pacing of this one might be a bit slow for some people, but I think if you give it some time to really get going, the joke quality and editing should be enough to win you over.
Is she gonna be okay? What happened? What happened?
Number 8. VeggieTales, Bob's Basement, by Jallerbo.
And I bet you're wondering where Larry is.
I'm sure most of you already know that I got my start with this channel making mostly VeggieTales YTPs for the first year. I ended up getting pretty burnt out with both making and watching VeggieTales YTPs, since they all seem to just blend together over time, so it's nice to finally see one made by someone like Jallerbo, who isn't at all afraid of making dirty jokes, which is something that really makes it stand out from the rest of the VeggieTales poops out there.
Oh my God! Oh my God is right. Victor doesn't really feel like doing that. Deep down inside, he wants to have sex with Louis.
Sometimes I feel like doing things.
Oh shit, maybe Louis doesn't need a nose. Maybe Louis needs a sexy erection.
This might just be my favorite non-SpongeBob YTP to come from Jallerbo. Really, I think the only way this video could be improved is if it was about 10 times longer.
Have I ever told you about the black people?
Weren't they supposed to be God's chosen penis?
What the fuck?
Number 7. The King's Sacrifice to Salamala Cucumber, by NDM64.
Dark Lord, we present your offering.
Stop this nonsense now. What is all the rhetoric out here? Some of us are trying to sleep.
My boy, this is an unholy ritual. We're going to perform a sacrifice.
When it comes to story-based CDI YTPs, nobody can even come close to comparing to the consistent quality of NDM64. They have the absolute peak quality of combined sentence mixing and animation that I genuinely can't say I've ever seen done even half as well anywhere else. And this video, although very short and relatively simplistic, is a perfect showcase of those skills.
You're supposed to sacrifice a person, you charlatan. Thanks for volunteering to learn. Helping him. For it, I'm off.
I've been over this point every year since the first year that I've made one of these lists, but here I go again. If you are even slightly interested in story-based CDI YTPs and you have not already subscribed to NDM64, why? Just why? That just makes no goddamn sense to me. I know many of my subscribers have come from my CDI YTPs, so the fact that NDM64 hasn't even surpassed 7,000 subscribers yet is nothing short of baffling to me. Please, do your part and subscribe to them immediately.
Sorry, Elmo, I'm busy. Okay, Elmo, I have to find an find. If I stop, how can I find an find? How, Elmo? How?
Oh, attack the people on his cell phone.
Wait a minute.
I made the sacrifice. Chat pack.
Number 6. The Amazing World of Chicken, Sausage, and Seafood Gumbo, by Canty.
But technically, you with your fuck you kids. You. Huh?
The next day.
Okay, hear me out. This one takes a bit to really get going. The first couple minutes or so are perfectly fine, but not exactly anything worth a spot this high up on the list. But good fucking god, once the video really gets going, it goes hard.
Looking for a subject for the porn industry. What does that mean? It means I'm gonna fuck bitches. Yeah. I've always thought I'd make a gay model. What makes you think that?
I think it's definitely going to push the boundaries of good taste for many people. For me personally, it stops just short of going too far, and that's why I love it.
We got the DVD. Go for it.
There's no sus joke.
Aw, man.
Number 5. Wow, it's made! Up by the Things.
She adds a plant-based gel known as plantallatum. It's over to the next station where another worker known as Delilah pours the lipstick liquid into a filling machine. It's blood, coal, tubular, radical.
It seems like every time the Things makes another Wow It's Made YTP, she always manages to top the previous one. And this one's no exception. I don't think there's a single scene in the entire 9-minute video that comes even close to falling flat. I could easily see each individual line of dialogue being someone's favorite, and would honestly have a hard time disagreeing with their opinion.
Throughout history, wigs have been hairpieces. One early wig-making technique was the Sims. But today, some big wigs use Goat Simulator. Throughout history.
Number 4. Buzz catches COVID-19 by Hour of Poop.
Woody!
Hey, very good, Woody. That's using the old noodle.
I don't think Andy's gonna want those huts anymore.
If I had been unfortunate enough to not already be familiar with the brilliant work of Hour of Poop, I'd say there's a pretty good chance that I might have just skipped over watching this YTP if it showed up in my recommended. For one thing, it's a Pixar poop, which are more often than not pretty low-effort videos, and the title has a reference to COVID-19, even though places like the US and UK had only gone into lockdown just 3 months before the upload date of the video. Which, to me anyway, would seem to point to a low-effort type of YouTube poop. Thankfully though, I was already well aware that these guys are thoroughly incapable of making anything short of an absolute masterpiece, so I had high hopes for this video. And even then, they delivered something well above and beyond anything that I could have reasonably expected.
You alright?
Oh, Buzz, thank goodness. And I can't find any tea.
It's not in Molly's room. We've looked everywhere.
The lawn gnome next door says, but he'll keep looking.
Don't worry, Woody. I've got a great idea.
Get out of here! Buzz?
The sentence mixing is great, the masking is god tier, the references, including all the references to just about every major aspect of the then current COVID culture, are all perfect. Even just the opening of the video, if that were uploaded as its own YTP, would have been good enough to make the list, probably even still in the top 10. I could probably spend a whole video just breaking down this one YTP and what makes it so great, but since I still have 3 more to go, I'll just end it off with one more observation that just goes to show the level of detail put into this. There's this quick little joke early on in the video where Ham gets run over and smashed to pieces by a car. Normally, even in a story-based YTP like this, that'd just be a one-off joke that doesn't have any effect on the rest of the video. But if you pay attention, you'll notice that Ham never actually appears in the video after that point. They even used a scene of the movie where the toys are running around Al's toy barn, and they've subtly masked Ham out of the shots. It's a relatively small detail, something that I didn't even notice until a commenter pointed it out, but it's all the little things like that that add up over time to help make this an absolute instant classic.
What? You! Hey, guys, look! Buzz has got it! 90.
My what?
What? Are you crazy?
You must be joking.
Here, look, see? He didn't wash his hands! 1919! What are we gonna do, Woody? Get the blazes out of here!
Number 3. Robotnik stands naked in front of the barrel of the gun! By Gabe-chan. Here's Gabe-chan's first full YTP after 4 years of almost complete YouTube silence. From what I understand, based off of the video description, he was working on this video off and on over his 4-year absence. And all those years of work definitely show in this half-hour-long YouTube poop.
supposed to cheer the hedgehog.
This composed to finance a whole army of robot soldiers to trample Mobius into Satsuma.
There's something you should know!
Next time you sit down, you're gonna get
This YTP falls more in line with the classic style of YTP, and by classic I mean the very beginning of YTP. There's a lot of repetition and ear rape and just general clusterfuckery, but it all works together perfectly to make for an amazing YTP experience unlike anything else I've ever seen before.
So you want to know all about
Dr. Robotnik?
Huh? Well, I'll just set the throttle on the remote.
This has it.
The grinder wants to fuck you!
Ah, don't come near me!
Hot dog!
I think I'm going to have a hard time finding clips to show you here. Sure, there are plenty of great jokes and edits to be found all throughout the video, but I definitely think that when isolated, they're going to lose some of their comedic quality if you haven't already watched through everything leading up to that specific clip. Like how that fucking submarine gets funnier and funnier each time it shows up on screen. It's not really a joke that can be described or shown off in just one little clip, it just has to be experienced. You really just have to trust me on this one and invest the time to watch the full 30 minutes from start to finish. I've personally already watched it about 3 or 4 times, and it's just as funny and entertaining each time around.
That stupid hedgehog won't stop scratching this ass!
Number 2. Pyromaniac Advertising by Absolute Link.
Well, Dash, come and spam, and welcome to the check. What? Where did Aunt Olivia go?
I am Professor Pitt, you dumbass.
This video completely took me by surprise when it was first submitted to the overlooked YTPer collab. Not only was it coming from a channel with fewer than 500 subscribers, but it's actually their first ever YTP. If this is where they're getting their start, I can't even imagine how far they'll go if they stick with it.
Why did you do that?
I am evil.
Well, I'll be a Sphinx's whisker. There you are, Dash. Aunt Olivia! What's happening?
Nice tofu. Lol.
As of right now, this is Absolute Link's only YTP, but I do happen to know that they're currently involved in at least 2 private collabs, so this definitely won't be the last you hear of them. Considering that they're just getting started and currently only have around 225 subscribers, probably more so than anyone else on this list, please make sure you give them a sub if you like what you see.
Cool.
Cool. I can't believe it. I first kiss. That's pretty big.
And my number 1 favorite YTP from 2020 is Link et le Potion Platonique by Diddy64
Zelda, ce vendeur d'éloge, tu crois qu'il est gentil?
Bien sûr que je suis de ton côté. Malgré tout, il faut que je vende la marchandise.
Eh bien, tu vois.
Prends ce que tu veux.
Tout ce que je veux.
Tout ce que tu veux.
C'est cool.
Je me charge des
Heureusement que j'ai mon petit sac sans son. Je peux tout y transporter.
The number 1 spot on my list, and I don't even speak the language of the video. Thankfully though, Diddy64 took the time to add subtitles that can be auto-translated from French into English. Although there are some parts without subtitles since there's text on screen, or others where something is clearly lost in translation, for the most part you shouldn't have any issues following along with these videos.
J'ai vu l'idée de Zelda. On va appeler Goumam. Il sait parler le poissonnier.
J'ai heureusement apporté ma bonne épée. Elle ne fera aucun mal aux gens aimables. Elle les fera simplement parler en français. Je suis ici.
Oh shit, it works. Oh yeah, I should mention, this is a story-based YTP spread out across 3 parts, with a total runtime of 54 goddamn minutes. And there aren't even any recaps at the beginnings of parts 2 and 3, or any overly long teasers at the endings of parts 1 and 2. It's also not just a series of random events loosely tied together with a story, either. This whole 54-minute poop is just one big adventure story where each scene leads directly into the next scene. I don't think anyone else has ever single-handedly made a YTP this long before, let alone one with a story. I can't imagine how he did all this within the span of just 4 months, but I'm so glad that I managed to find this channel at the beginning of the year so that I got to experience this all come together in real time.
Il est belle dans le récipient.
Oh là là, je meurs de faim.
Laisse le jus imprégné, je attends. Oh, et Link. Laisse Link se décevoir, car ce truc est un gant de pouvoir. Un gant de pouvoir? Super!
Je pourrais dévorer des restes de temps. Je me sens métallique à l'intérieur. Mais pas à l'extérieur.
Something that I somehow didn't even notice the first couple of times I watched this is that Diddy64Wii somehow actually managed to squeeze in literally every single character from the 2 CDI games. There's even a reference to Zelda's adventure in here. Just that alone would be enough to make the video worth recommending, so the fact that he also still managed to tell an interesting and unique story along with it is just a bonus.
Regarde, c'est facile.
On dirait qu'il devient complètement fou.
Patience. La voix est libre, chère princesse.
Merci.
Everything about this video is impressive to me. The creative ways that all the different characters are utilized, the fact that a lot of the different backgrounds and sprites that you wouldn't normally see are used in here, the visual effects, the sound effects, the music choices, the jokes, the references, everything about this video is fucking great. The only disappointing aspect of all of this is the fact that the first part currently only has a little over 15,000 views, and the third barely has over 7,000. Not to mention that the channel itself only has about 13,000 subscribers. If I can somehow use this video to convince you of any one thing, please show your support to this video and the creator. It's clear that Diddy64Wii put an ungodly amount of time and energy into this, so do your part in making sure that all that hard work is paid off.
Des chaînes de lumière. Mon les moi mon jour. Non, pas des chaînes de lumière. Je veux pas sauter le tête à l'os, ça brûle.
And there you have it. My top 50 favorite YTPs from 2020. Hopefully I was able to introduce you to at least 1 or 2 new videos or channels through this video. And again, it bears repeating one last time. If you enjoyed any of these clips that I showed you, please make sure you go to the original video, give it a like, and subscribe to the channel. I think all but 7 of the channels that were featured on this list have fewer subscribers than my channel has, so I don't see any reason why this video shouldn't give them a boost of at least a few more subscribers. Also, I would greatly appreciate feedback on this video. Aside from this outro, this is the first one of these videos that I actually took the time to script out in its entirety, so I'd really like to know what you guys think about that. I'm still kind of learning how to do these kind of videos. I think I've definitely come a long way since my 2016 list, but I do still think there's room for improvement, so feedback is very much appreciated. Also, feel free to share your favorite YTPs from 2020 in the comments down below. I can't guarantee that I'm going to watch all of them, but I will at least check out a few here and there. And if you happen to see other people sharing YTPs in the comments, maybe you could check them out. I'll even give you full permission to shamelessly self-promote. If you weren't featured on this list, maybe you could share your best YTP in the comments down below. Again, I can't guarantee that I'll watch it, but I will still try to watch as many of them as I can. So, thank you all for watching. If you made it this far, be sure to check out the playlists that are linked down in the description, and I will see you guys next year for my favorite YTPs of 2021.